can't let anything happen to Michael Savage, who joins us right now. Hello, sir. How are you?
Steve, thank you for having the guts to have Michael Savage on.
Well, like I just got finished saying, Michael, and I gave a background of the case in anticipation of you coming here. We can't let them get to you, CAIR, because if CAIR gets you, then they'll go, right down the list, and they'll find me, and they'll find others, and, who'll need the fairness doctrine. They'll take care of it before Obama could do it.
Well, we know who they are. We know who funds them. In fact, we did an investigation of the funding of Media Matters, and guess what? Some of the same left-wing money from the far left that funds Media Matters also goes to CAIR. This is an interlocking directorship, according to what I've read, of the far left in this country trying to destroy any opposition voices whatsoever. Now, if the liberals listening to your show, Steve, want to live in a country where speech can only come from one side, then they will soon be living in the ex-Soviet Union. They better think very carefully whether they want to live in that country.
All right, talk about the specifics, or as much as you can, of the suit being thrown out to round one going, I guess, to CAIR. And I know Daniel Horowitz told the San Francisco Chronicle that he plans to file a new racketeering lawsuit. There was copyright infringement and racketeering charges, correct?
Yes. Remember, the first judge, Judge Ilston, was appointed by Bill Clinton. The hand of death was all over this before we even submitted it. She's a far-left radical judge, in my estimation. Interestingly enough, Steve, she held this ruling for months. Look when she dropped the ruling. She dropped it on Friday at 5 p.m. At the same time I was assaulted by Media Matters by misquoting me on the autism controversy. I want you to show how deep the connection is of the left wing in this country. There is a vast left-wing conspiracy. Make no mistake about it. They're all working hand in glove. It runs from the courts through the media to these outside pressure groups. Right now, okay, my competitors are laughing. They love it. The leprechaun, the wall banger, Alpha, they probably find this to be humorous. What they don't understand is that, unlike you, Steve, you understand very well that unless the wagons are circled, they're going to be picked off one by one. When they came for Michael Savage, they didn't raise their voice because they hated Michael Savage. When they came for Rush, they didn't raise their voice because they didn't like Rush. When they came for the wall banger, they didn't raise their voice, etc. And when they came for you, there was nobody left because everybody else had been silenced. We are living in a neo-fascist state, and it's being ruled by the left. And I cannot understand how people don't see this, Steve.
I have been proposing for quite some time now, especially when you filed your lawsuit, especially when CAIR, I get CAIR's press releases every day. And, it's funny, they tell the people exactly what to write, exactly who to write it to, and the robots, whatever small number there are, do it. And these executives, whether they're at radio stations or sponsors or companies, they get spooked and they say, but somebody in public relations who understands this and gets this has to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go around. I'm going to make my money by educating station managers, general managers, and probably just as important, sponsors, the ad agencies, the people who pay the money, the corporations, and the people who make these decisions as to who CAIR is and how to be prepared for them to come knocking on their doors. Someone has to do that.
The Council on American Islamic Relations. It would be wonderful if it was truly a Council on American Islamic Relations. But when they take my comments about Ahmadinejad, the Hitler of our time, and make it sound as though I'm attacking Islam in general, they are the problem, not me. And what's amazing to me is that these corporate executives would rather cater to a group, CAIR, that is an unindicted co-conspirator in an anti-terrorism trial. Let me repeat that. CAIR is still an unindicted co-conspirator in a major federal anti-terrorism trial, and yet these empty suits in radio and empty suits in advertising would rather side with people who would slash their throats than with Michael Savage. That's the country you're living in today, Steve.
Oh, believe me, I know that. And you know, although you and I don't always agree 100% on everything, you do talk about these issues, and you do, and so do I. I mean, I talk about these issues, and I'll keep saying jihad and Islamic fascists and you know, Islamic fundamentalists and terrorists, no matter what the government says they don't think we should be saying, because when we give in to that, we're really in trouble. But look, there are many, you know, the couple of people, you know, atop of you and other talk show hosts who just don't want to touch this. They don't want to go near it because they don't want the problem.
Right. They're what I call non-controversial, controversial radio. They pretend to be controversial when all they do is attack Democrats. And they get away with it, of course, because the audience is kind of naive. The Democrats aren't the problem. They're just the opposing party to the Republicans. The Republicans aren't the problem. They're just the opposing party to the Democrats. We have enemies outside this nation that are so beyond comprehension for the average American that what do you think it's going to take for them to wake up to who the enemy is? Another 9/11?
Or a nuke in the city, God forbid.
And who will be attacked after that happens? Michael Savage or front groups for jihadists? I mean, who do you think will be in cahoots? Did you see the latest story that 1 out of 3 Muslim students in the UK agree that violence and murder is justified? That's 1 out of 3 in the United Kingdom.
No, that's frightening. Frightening,
Were
Michael.
given a home by the English. They were welcomed into the nation, and they cannot wait to put a knife in the heart of the English. Is it different in America?
Well, you know, Fox did a special on honor killings, and I just happened to tune in last night in one of the reruns of it, and they gave a poll here in America that I think 25%, if I heard it right, 25% of Muslims in this country do not believe that they should assimilate. They do not believe that they should become part of the American culture.
I see, and that's why CAIR is a good organization, or is that why CAIR is a dangerous organization?
Well,
which side do they take?
Yeah.
what side does CAIR take on honor killings? Why don't you get them on your show? Ask them where they stand on honor killings.
I don't think they come on with me anymore, Michael. I've had too many of them on.
Ask them where they stand not only on honor killings, but on various and sundry other violence around the world. Radical Islamists just set off bombs in India, as you know, over the weekend, and in Turkey. Why is that happening, Steve? Why in India? Why against Hindus? Why in Turkey against moderate Muslims? What is the problem with radical Islam? Why is it that they think that their religion is superior and everybody else is inferior? Why do we tolerate this mentality in America? There's your problem. It's not me. I'm standing up. I'm like Paul Revere, standing up and speaking out. Only I'm not saying the British are coming, the British are coming. What I'm saying is the Islamists are here. The Islamists are here. And I know where they are. They're everywhere. And, Steve, one last note if I can.
Yeah, sure.
MichaelSavage.com website. I have a defense fund. This is what I need right now because I'm going to have to spend about $400,000 to $500,000 just to get it to the next level of appeal. That's the legal system we're in, Steve. Instead of my government doing this, I have to do it.